You've seen the post, now hear the story. This is More Than an Influencer with Dileiny Baron. Hi guys! Welcome to another episode of More Than an Influencer. And today I want to cover the topic of blended families. A lot of the times in my stories, I'm posting stuff going on with my older son, who's from my previous marriage. And all the time we are together for holidays, meaning my husband now, my ex-husband, his family, my family, we're all a big, happy, blended family. And I get a lot of DMs at times like, how did you guys get to this place? You know, I get DMs like, oh, my baby daddy, I hate him. And, you know, how? People want to know how we got there, how it is having a blended family. And so I wanted to cover that topic. So today I have a very special guest. She's my friend, she's my sister, Jennifer. She's actually my ex-husband's sister. And we're going to talk about our blended family and how we got to the place that we got to. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jennifer.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you, sis. Cheers.
Cheers to
This is water, guys.
sisterhood.
All right. I'm going to whip out my phone as I usually do just to make sure I cover all the things. All right. So I guess let's introduce yourself.
Yeah. So I'm Jennifer. I am Dileany's sister. She was married to my brother. And it's funny because I always kind of like, I'm comical with it and I'm always like, it was her starter marriage. And so I just feel like, you know, over the years we lost a little bit of contact, but then we reconnected. We all have kids. We all just want our kids to be really happy. And I'm also very, very close to your mom and dad. After I lost my parents, your parents really became my parents.
Yeah,
so
because you said that there was a moment of disconnect, and just so that people are aware why there was a disconnection, we got a divorce, and a lot of times in divorces, people get hurt, you know, people separate, and it was like she didn't do anything to me, I didn't do anything to her, nobody did anything to each other. It was just like the normal, you know, situation happens when people get a divorce. But once everybody was healed and knew that the kids are the most important thing, we just all reconnected. Like,
yeah, for sure. And I want to say this, that even in the process of the both of you deciding to end the marriage, it was literally around the time I was getting married, and you were still in my wedding.
Yes,
you were still in my wedding, and I just feel like, you know, that to me just speaks volumes as to no matter what happens, we all do what we have to do to support each other.
Exactly.
And I just think about that. And it's like sometimes you have these wedding pictures, you're like, oh, but I don't feel like that at all. I love
it's
all
just
my wedding
another
pictures.
part of like our story. I went to lunch the other day with girls that don't really know anything about me, and so sometimes these things come out like, oh, my first marriage, they're like, oh my god, you were married. And so then I start getting into like, yeah, I was married at 23, divorced by 26, then I remarried. They're like, Jesus, you have lived so many lives. And I'm like, yeah, but it's nice to have you and Derek and all of us, because we've kind of seen each other through each phase of our,
and it's nice to have you and your family, because I think that the other pieces, and we'll get into it, but I think that, you know, your family has, I think, done so much for our family in the past couple of years, and I'm just so grateful and thankful that we reconnected and we have that time together, because at the end of the day, we really like each other.
Yes.
We really like each other.
We do. So what do you think was one of the biggest adjustments for starting to blend our families?
Girl.
And we're blended in the sense that I remarried, I have a son.
So, and
she actually was married, divorced, has a son.
Yes. I think that the biggest challenges is the beginning, is the setup. It's trying to figure out like how to make sense of the new changes in your life and the adjustments. And also, because we've experienced it, I think understanding for anybody that's watching that if you're feeling like right now just seems like you're in hell or it's the worst experience, that is part of the course.
Yes.
That's part of the course, and give yourself the opportunity to just take the space. Because I think that ultimately if the goal is to come back to it, you will.
Yes.
But you also have to give yourself the space to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so that's the biggest challenge is the setup and just understanding the adjustments.
That it's not always going to be ugly. It's not always going to be a fight. It's going to get better. And that's another reason that I wanted to film this episode is because I know so many people that struggle with that and they don't know ever how to get to that next step. And I'm always like, think about the kids and just know that somebody's going to have to be the bigger person sometimes. Sure.
I think that we make decisions for the children. When we keep the kids in the forefront of our decision making, that's all you can do. And I know you feel the same way as I do, that we want happy, adjusted children.
Exactly.
And we don't want to repeat the same cycles maybe that we've seen in our families or our family dynamics. They get to decide, if they want to feel like happy based off of what we are doing and how we're treating them. So.
Exactly. How did the kids react when we started blending the families? Do you remember?
I remember one Christmas vividly, and we could talk about the holidays a little bit because before my mom passed away, we would all go to my house and then we would go to your house. Even when you guys were together, we all lived in the same neighborhood. I just remember vividly Julian was very quiet, very shy, but the minute that you and Todd came over and you guys were sitting across the table from Derek and Tara, my parents were there, I was there, Julian was like locked in.
Yeah.
Like Julian was so happy.
Yeah.
Julian was like, didn't move. He wasn't on his phone.
No.
He was just like sitting,
so
chilling.
Happy.
And I have
sitting
a picture.
At the table. I know, he was sitting at the table and his mom's there, his dad's there, his step-parents are there, everybody's together and happy and we're all laughing.
Yeah.
And you could just see him light up.
Yeah, and I'm getting like goosebumps thinking about it. Because I just feel like that's what it's all about.
No, after that, seeing how, because we had birthdays together already by that point, we've done stuff together, but I think the holidays were tricky because it would be like, okay, morning, you're with me, afternoon, you're with dad, and he always had to be the one going back and forth. And then when we just decided, no, we're gonna come over, we're gonna move for him, he was so happy. And that made me be like, we always have to do this.
Yeah, and I think that that's so important. It's funny that you say that, the movement, because I think going back to those challenges, we don't think about the challenges for the kids sometimes, and I think that is the biggest. I know for Sebastian, that he remembers that. He remembered there was one day when I went back to school, I went to graduate school, and he was literally at 4 homes by the time he got home in, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and he was like, that really sucked.
Yeah.
And so, but again, that's also speaking volumes to all of our family members. Every house that he went to was a family member's house. So it wasn't it takes a village to be able to allow us to thrive and for the kids to thrive.
Yeah. Do you have a story that shows how our families or kids bonded in a beautiful way?
Yes, it's always surrounding the holidays. Do you remember, I think it was not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, my brother decided to have everybody at the house?
Yes.
So to me, that was like the most beautiful thing. And just to kind of give context, it was your family from DR came, your parents were at my brother's house.
And then my siblings, their kids.
Yes. Your, also Tara, which is my brother's wife, her family, and my ex-husband and his family were there. So it was literally
everybody was together. It was actually amazing.
And I think there were over 50 people in the house.
Yes.
We were playing games, drinking, having fun. Nobody wanted to leave. The kids were out in their Christmas pajamas, and everybody was just it was
so much fun.
It was just an amazing Christmas.
I know, that was really a fun. It was a lot for Derek to host that many people, but it was worth it. I think. Speaking for Derek.
I know, we're are we coming back this year? But it was great. And I think that was a really beautiful memory.
Yeah.
For sure.
I love that too. All right, what's been one of the hardest parts of navigating a blended family?
So I think that I could speak on 2 separate things. Number one, I think it's, again, the beginning stages, but also when people have differences in opinions, because we're not going to sit here and say it was easy.
No.
Because I'm telling you, at least once a month, there's a wrinkle. There's always something that's happening where I have to iron it out. And I think it's learning when to take a step back and learning what battles to fight and what battles to not fight. Because there's been many times I've called you and I've said, I'm pissed off at my ex-husband for A, B, and C. And you're like, I'm concerned about Julian and this with maybe Derek. And listen, it's normal life. We have conflict.
Yeah.
But I think that's hard. It's like challenging because there's so many people in the mix that sometimes people have very different parenting styles as well.
Right.
And that's hard. And learning how to adjust or learning how to like pick battles. Like what's one thing that you're just going to let dad deal with or go, and what's one thing that I'm not going to let go.
Yeah. And I think communication is key. Like if I'm pissed and I'm about to send a text message to Derek about Julian, or I'm sure on his end, like I just stop. I'm like, no, let me just pick up the phone, let me call him, and like let's just talk about this together. And for the most part, me and Derek get along amazing. Like we just always communicate. If he gets annoyed at something, or like we have a teenager who gets tickets and his cars and he's expensive, and it's like we both have to just be like, dude, this kid cost me this much money, he got another ticket, like who's gonna pay for this? Like we're never fighting each other, we're just venting, and then like, all right, I'll take this, you take that. Just communication is key, I think, with like running a smooth,
I agree,
as possible blended family.
And I also think that if you being divorced or being married, you would still be having those conversations.
Exactly.
They're the same conversations whether you are in a marriage or not. It's just different. One other thing that I think is hard, and it's, I'm not married, and so when I search for a partner to be with, it's very interesting the responses I get from people when I tell them what my expectation is in a partnership, and I explain to them how our family operates. So like, I'll give you an example. Since my son has been born, he has never gone one Christmas morning. It's all surrounded around Christmas. But he's not gone one Christmas morning where his both parents have not been there to open gifts with him. And he's 15 years old. That is exactly how it is. His wife, who I adore, is so supportive of that. But sometimes that's hard for people that I date.
100%. Like part of our blended family dynamics on all fronts is the spouse. Like it's not an easy thing to ask my husband, like we're doing, the holidays together, like we're doing, all these things together all the time. I mean, we go on vacation together. So Todd, he's totally fine and cool, but I mean, I even think about it for myself, like what if it was me, like, and Todd had this blended family and I have to now share my holidays with this other family, and I have to, be cool with the in-laws. Like, I think eventually I'd be mature enough to get it, but it might be like, do I want to sign up for this?
I know,
but he was like so open to it, and
I mean, it's interesting because
that's a big piece.
That's
having
a really big
spouse
and I think
that
we should
supports.
Talk. And I think that's and whether it's a spouse or even like as I'm dating and I'm trying to, figure that out, it's interesting the reactions I've gotten. One reaction was, there were some that were negative. There were some that were
people don't want to
judgmental.
deal with it.
There are some that were like, that's weird. That you're still really close to people. There are some people that are like, why do you need that person's permission? It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with, it's not for my ex-husband, it's for my son. So if you can't understand that the link between all this is for my son and that's why he's so well adjusted, then you and I are not in alignment. And that's a big part of where I see myself in partnership, and I have to be honest with them from the beginning.
Oh no, 100%. They have to be okay with the dynamics because that is what it is. And my husband's an educator, so I think that's probably why, because he does put Julian first. I mean, he loves you guys, but I'm just saying, that's a part of him just being so accepting and open.
And not only is he so accepting, obviously, with you and your family, but he's also accepting of your extended family members. And so we travel together every year. We go to Dominican Republic, and it's just been such an amazing tradition that we've established. And even this summer, Sebastian was with us, and Todd and I and Sebastian worked out every single day on the beach. Todd was like Sebastian's biggest supporter. I mean, it just speaks volumes. And as you said, it doesn't work if the spouses are not involved.
Because they have to make their own relationships too, for everybody to be cool and get along. So moving forward, what are your hopes for the future for our families, for your blended family, for our blended family?
So I think it's funny because we already have been doing it and mastering it so well. So I think the only thing that I would say is that we maintain it and we continue to maintain it. Look, I honestly think we've in some ways perfected it as best as we can. And I don't
I
say
feel
that,
the same way, knock on wood, but I do feel that way.
So like I feel that way. So I just think maintaining it, I think, you know, the things that I want to see is us just continue to grow with each other and to continue to make sure that our children stay in the forefront, and also like looking forward to watching them grow, looking forward to us celebrating their milestones and their graduations and their weddings and their college graduations. It's just like there's so like honestly so much to look forward to, especially when you love the people that you're doing it with. And I would not want to be on this journey with anybody else. Like
same.
Like ever. Like I don't want to cry, but So and I think that's really the thing of it all, is just we've kind of perfected it.
Yay.
So I have a surprise for you. So one of the things that I was thinking about when you asked me to do this, to just have this discussion, is that I checked in with people that we know and that I know, and they wrote a couple of, they wrote some things. Some wrote some really nice things. So I want to share that with you, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. Oh, I can't wait.
My water. Okay, so we have a friend that has been working with our family. She is a spiritual healer and she's amazing. And actually, I'll save that one for last.
Okay.
So this is actually a neighbor of mine that doesn't even know you, but knows that our families are the way they are. And she wrote, "I've never witnessed someone or people handle their family dynamics quite like you guys. You speak of your situation with such warmth and grace. It is so refreshing and inspiring, and it is easy to see how having such a strong blended family with love from all directions has shaped your teenage son into being the man he is today."
Oh, that's so sweet.
Another one, "It wasn't until I met Jen and her family that I realized you can go through a breakup and still have a really good support system and relationship. Cordial, supportive friendship, not to be together, but to want to see each other, do well and be well for themselves and for their sons. That you can raise a wonderful child and not make it about picking sides, compete with love, or putting anybody else before them. There's so much love to be given. It's not just something I've seen work so well before, but inspired me to be open-minded to my own idea of relationships and how they are never black and white."
That's what I love about this episode, is that I want to inspire other people to do the same thing, because it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Like, to just get along so well, and really there's just no feelings but love.
And I think that when you're in that state, life feels so much better. It requires so much more energy to be angry all the time.
Right, and to be mad or
100%.
jealous or this or that, or whatever feelings come from trying to bring the two, that story, it ended in one way, but it's continuing in another, and it's...
Yeah, and I think also at the end of the day, like our families, we're just so much happier. We're just so much happier. But the last one was with a person that we both really know well, Agatha, and she wrote, "It's truly heartwarming to see the Zimmermans and Barons navigate their beautiful blended family with such grace. There's something incredibly inspiring about watching co-parents prioritize their children's well-being while genuinely enjoying and supporting one another."
Oh, it's so true. That's exactly...
Especially just going back to we all support you, you support everybody else that is doing things or in great spaces. And I think what we don't support is the nonsense.
Yeah.
There's no nonsense anymore. No. And we will tell each other.
Yeah, if there's any...
girl, stop it.
If there's any feelings about anything, we just talk.
Yeah, and it's okay, and sometimes we don't want to hear it, but it's important that we're honest with each other. Yeah. So communication is key.
Yep. All right, how should I close this out? Wait, let me see my little notes. That was so good, Jen. What message do you want viewers to take away about love, patience, and creating family in a non-traditional way? Should I ask you that? Should you close it? Or should I?
Do you want me to do it? So I have a question for you.
Okay, well, why don't we do that?
Yeah. This is what I did.
All right.
So
Wait.
can I read it?
Oh, you want to read?
I
Okay,
can't
okay,
remember it.
All right, the closing.
Okay. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
What's one message you want viewers to take away about love, patience, and creating family in non-traditional ways?
What message do I want people to take from what?
What message do you want viewers to take away about love, patience, and creating family in a non-traditional way?
I think that I want the viewers to take away is that it's such a better life just living and leading with love and being happy. Like, there was a time that we were fighting, you know, and nobody was happy. Yeah. So, like, why would I want to stay in that? So my message is that, like, why would you want to live in the negative when it can be turned around into something positive and beautiful and amazing for your children?
Yeah.
So.
And one thing I want to just add to is that, you know, you don't have to be blood related. Mm-mm. You're my sister, like always. I don't have sisters. I cherish this. And sometimes in life, when life kind of falls apart and you think that this is not it for you, because we don't always have to align with our families. We get to choose who those people are in our lives.
100%.
And so I make a conscious choice to always water our family relationships, and I think it's important. So yeah.
All right, guys, thank you. I hope this inspires you to work through whatever situations you guys have with your families or exes, whatever. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, Jennifer, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, Ryan. All right, bye, guys.